guys, we are at what I would refer to as my laziest angle on this iPad, but in order to make this video happen, I think we're gonna have to be at this angle, so we'll make it work. Happy to see you all. We're gonna start what I'm hoping to be a series, a little read with me series, right? I'm not actually gonna be reading so much of the book, I'll read parts of it. But I figured a great place to start is with something that I've been promising for a very long time, and I just didn't want to do it. But we're going to do it. I think I can do it if we do it together. Okay, so either read with me physically if that's your jam, or if you don't want to, you know, do this to yourself. Read Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. If you know anything about me, you know that I'm not a Hoover girl. I've done a few. I've done, let's see, It Ends With Us, Verity, and Without Merit, which was truly one of the worst books I've ever read. Without Merit was. The other two were Colleen Hoover books. They're like candy. There's no nutritional value. You just get mindless, right? I actually don't, like, it's fine. Read them. You know what I mean? Everybody has their taste. Everybody has their thing. Some people do, like, turn their brains off. Sure, whatever. I don't care. I don't care anymore. There's just too many things in the world to care about this that much, you know? So, that being said, I like to be petty every now and then. If you enjoy them, they can be enjoyable without being, like, works of art, right? And I like to make fun of them. I do. I think they're silly. So if you're going to take this personally, if this is going to be like a, oh my God, you hate the, like, sometimes people try to make it like a feminist stance that I'm making, like I hate women. Listen, I'll go full manic pixie dream girl any day I want, okay? That doesn't make me less of a feminist because I don't like Colleen Hoover. I just don't like them. I just don't like her books. That's it. That being said, let's take a look, shall we? I'm going to read the back really quickly in case anybody doesn't know what this is about. Frankly, I don't remember. So let's find out together. It's not exactly love at first sight for Tate Collins when she meets the tormented and secretive Miles Archer. They wouldn't go so far as to consider themselves friends. The only thing Tate and Miles have in common is a mutual physical attraction that can't be denied. Once their desires are out in the open, they realize they might have stumbled on the perfect no-strings arrangement. He isn't looking for love, and she doesn't have time for it, so that leaves just the sex. What they got could be surprisingly satisfying as long as Tate can stick to the two rules that Miles has for her. Never ask about the past, don't expect a future. They think they can handle it, but everything is different when real emotions start to change the equation. Hearts get infiltrated, promises get broken, rules get shattered, love gets ugly. So my plan right now is to read Stop As I'm Shocked. Jolene. First thing that I'm remembering, and I'm only on page 6, about Colleen Hoover's writing is how clunky her introductions always are, where she's always, like, for example, the part that I'm looking at right now was, I'm hoping things will be different between us now, though. Corbin is 25 and I'm 23, so if we can't get along better than we did as kids, we've got a lot of growing up left to do. Like, it just feels so intro to, like, I don't know, it doesn't feel organic. It feels, ugh. All right, we're at page 18, and we're at the first set of text messages, which go a little something like this. Me, as in Miles. New girl enrolled today. Senior. His best friend Ian. Is she hot? Haven't seen her yet. About to walk her to class. Take a picture if she's hot. Will do. By the way, BTW, how many times have you had detention this year? Twice. Why? What'd you do? I already hate this dynamic. I already hate this idea of, like, Miles is this little do-gooder, and then his friend Ian as, like, the way she hot. Oof, I don't feel good about this, guys. And then, quite literally, the next page, we're going to get to page 19. This is when he's introduced to Rachel.
My mouth forgets how to speak. My arms forget how to reach out to introduce the person they're attached to. My heart forgets to wait and get to know a girl before it starts to claw its way out of my chest to get to her. That doesn't even sound right. Rachel. She's like poetry, like prose and love letters, and we'll hear it cascading down the center of a page.
And also, from a 16-year-old boy, actually, I don't know how old he is, but he's in high school. Get real.
I say her name over and over in my head because I'm positive it's the name of the next girl I'll fall in love with. I'm suddenly standing, walking toward her. I might be smiling, pretending I'm not affected by those green eyes, and I hope that one day will be smiling just for me. Or that red as my heart hair. Stop it. That doesn't look like it's been tampered with since God created it specifically with her in mind. Okay, enough.
It gets really, like, prosy, and he's talking about how, like, you're gonna fall in love with me.
I want to text Ian and tell her she isn't hot. I want to tell him she's volcanic. But he would laugh at that. Imagine that. Instead, I discreetly take a picture of her from where I'm seated. I send the picture and a message to Ian that says she's going to have all my babies.
Okay, like, this next scene that comes up is one where Tate is being introduced to Miles, and this is, like, in the present day timeline, and this is another thing I don't like about what I notice in Colleen Hoover books is that, like, she's building up this intensity in this, like, dynamic between Tate and Miles, right? She's trying to overstate and be a little bit hyperbolic about, like, how this interaction is going. So it's him, like, really angry at her for no apparent reason when she wakes up. There's, like, no reason, but it's really over-exaggerated. And there's no reason for it to be happening. And she's saying she's confused in the story, but, like, you're still not getting any clarity about why he's escalating. And then his brother will just walk in and, like, and is hugging her like he doesn't know what's going on, as if, like, feelings don't impact a room, as if he wouldn't have heard them arguing or, like, wouldn't have noticed that they were having a stare off whenever he came in. Like, it's unrealistic, for one, and just not how human relationships go. All right, that's going to conclude day one because I can't do more than 40 pages at a time, I don't think. So we're going to bookmark it and call it a day. See you next. Hi, we're back. There's moisturizer on my face. All right, round two. I'm pissed off about the shutdown. I figured I might as well be pissed off about this too. He turns to face me and leans his shoulder into the refrigerator, holding his arms over his chest. I don't care if you drink my juice, Tate. New line. Oh, wow. That was an oddly sexy sentence. So is his presence delivering it. What? And then right after that, she asks him how long he's lived in the apartment. He says 4 years. I don't know why I laugh, but I do. He raises an eyebrow, confused about why this answer caused me to laugh. It's just that your apartment, I glance toward the living room and then back at him. It's kind of bland. Okay, so you do have a reason, for one. Also, that you didn't read that out loud ever, because that doesn't sound right. Staying here to get my bachelor's, and then my best friend Ian and I are going to flight school. I want to be a pilot. What do you want to be? Happy, she says with a smile. That's the perfect answer. Okay, brief intermission to kind of discuss plot. Okay, so you have the dual timeline. So you have Tate and Miles in the past. Rachel and Miles in the past, and then you have Tate and him in the future. And clearly something has happened with Rachel in that amount of time. Rachel's kind of about to become his stepsister, and he kind of like fell in love with her at first sight before she became his stepsister, but yeah. Now he's trying to figure out what to do because he's in love with the stepsister. In fairness, I like a slow burn. So this is kind of like, sorry, the tip of my nose is so itchy because I have allergies, and for some reason, I don't know if I have like pollen, like, it's driving me nuts. Sorry, I'm just not picking my nose. Anyways, going really, really fast. And I feel like they just met. They just met like 3 seconds ago, and now all of a sudden they're like willing to die. Yeah, so I don't really I'm not invested in either of these timelines at all. I also don't know really anything. Our main character is just kind of nothing. Tate is sort of nothing. I don't know anything else about her outside of like these interactions that she's having. And like some people might be like, yeah, you don't need to. It's like just a story. And if you're more of a plot person, I could see you thinking that just generally. That's just more your taste. But for me, I don't care about her. So why do I care about this? You know?
No. Okay. I have no idea what to say. We've had the strangest and most awkward conversation since I met him, and this one definitely takes the cake. Our conversations are so weird, I say. He laughs with relief. Yes, the word yes is so much more beautiful coming from his mouth, laced with that voice. He could probably make any word beautiful. I try to think of a word I hate. I kind of hate the word ox. It's an ugly word, too short and clipped. I wonder if his voice could make me love that word. Say the word ox. His eyebrow raises like he's wondering if he heard me right. He thinks I'm weird. I don't care. Just say it, I tell him.
Ox. O-X. First of all, how many times have you needed to use ox in context? So this is giving Senorita Awesome. That's what that just gave. Listen how creative this one is. When we were younger, Corbin and I always agreed that if we could have superpowers, it would be the ability to fly. Now that I know Miles, I've changed my mind. If I had a superpower, it would be infiltration. I could infiltrate his mind so I could see every single one of his thoughts. I would infiltrate his heart and spread myself around like a virus. I would call myself the Infiltrator. Okay, leaving off at 1:25 for the evening. We did get our first spicy scene, which wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, or as bad as I remember her sex scenes being, but still doesn't really do much for me. Hello and welcome to round 3, I believe. I think this is round 3 of Ugly Love. We are on page 125. We are starting out at chapter 14, which is Miles' chapter from 6 years ago. Don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about it. I also don't understand maybe Cap's role in this entire story. Maybe that will become more clear as time goes on here. God, I don't want to do this actually, but I'm like, I think I want to read right now, but I had a really long day. It's Friday. I just got home and I'm going out, not out, but like to a friend's house tonight, and I have some time to kill, and I was like, oh, I should read, but I'm kind of at that phase where I want to fall asleep. Sorry, you probably don't. This doesn't matter to you. Okay. I want to fall asleep, but I'm like, because I was so exhausted. I was up until 1 a.m. last night. Huh? Well, okay. That's a lie. I got home at midnight, but I ended up going to bed at 1 because I need to do my routine. I would like to say here on record, I don't like reading kissing scenes of children. I don't. Or kissing my way up her neck. Right, that's what I'm saying. Ugh, she moans a sound that says yes. She is a child. Ugh. Oh! Hey! She's really... What's going on? You can see that she's moving the iPad. Hey! She bit me as well. Thank you. She's kind of a bitch. You say that you want to change, but I hope you get everything you... It's funny because I was literally just thinking this. I just read the line, do you have to work tonight, Tate? In quotes, obviously, from Miles in the next chapter. And I'm immediately thinking, I hate that he's putting her name at the end of everything. Like, it's annoying. Because he always does it. And then literally the next line is, I like that I like that he's thinking about tonight, and I love how he ends most of his questions with my name. I love how he says my name. I should require him to say my name every time he speaks to me. Literally the exact opposite of what I just said. All right, we've got some major spoilers, so if you're really not wanting spoilers, stop watching. But we're at 143, I'm finishing on page 142 at Miles. I'm late, so she's pregnant. I do want to say, too, why the hell, randomly, no one's mentioned God, church, nothing. There's no role of that at all in the story. Page 141. She nods, but she closes her eyes as though she wants to focus on my voice and nothing else. When my mom died, I stopped believing in God. And then it ends with you being pregnant? Okay. Ugh. Roaming, caressing, trailing down my stomach so that he can touch the one place that can make me seed victory. I am only referring to an orgasm now as seeding victory. Okay, so this is like a post-coital moment, right? And they're talking, and she asks him, why don't you ever make eye contact when we're having sex? Do you mean to tell me all these conversations they were having, they're not looking at each other at all? Like, there's no point, does it mention that they're not, I assumed they were looking at each other. So that feels random. Huh? Okay, that was weird. That's a really weird way to finish a sex scene, I'll tell you that right now. We're at page 186, chapter 20. I'm gonna probably finish this tomorrow and try to never... I mean, it's like I don't even know. What do you do with a Colleen Hoover book? Do you put it in a little library, you know? Some people like them. I guess it can. But, jump scare. I got the new Medicube masks, so that's where we are this evening. It's the same night from whenever I was last recording. So I just want to finish it. I just want to be done. Just an example of a writing that I don't like. This is like when they're kind of breaking up, or like deciding that they're not going to be together. It hurts because I know how good our good moments are, and I know how easily the bad moments would go away if he would just stop trying to fight this. That's just like so elementary sounding writing. Like, it doesn't sound good. And again, like this whole scene, this confrontation that comes up with like Rachel and Miles and their dad or his dad, Like, it just feels like there's this big anticlimactic thing, and then it's like, I told him it was me. He's mad. He hates me. Get out of this house. And it's kind of like over, you know? Okay, I'm not one for older brother tropes in like the sense of like having a protective older brother. I don't know, I just think it's a lame cliche. So I don't love this whole thing, but the idea of Corbin coming in and catching Tate and Miles and then saying, well, you're not a brother, Tate. Like, that explains, like, the brotherly impulse. Like, I think it's just weird. Part 2, I don't know if you're going to be able to see the fact that I was rolling my eyes in the time lapse, but the part where they're having sex and he says, it's so good. This. Us. So good. Who says us? Like, for real? My God, there's just nothing to these people. Why did they bring up the point of the fact that Miles' dad cheated on his mom with Lisa if we were never going to talk about it again? Like, is that coming back? I'm on page 229, and we only have this much left, so... He's literally rude to Cap. No. Like, there's nothing about these people. Like, he just sounds rude. I want to take this off right now, and I'm going to do it on camera because I've never taken this off, and this is the one that people always look like they're glowing. Losing my mind. In case you can see that. Okay, should I take this one off first? Sorry, the lighting is not great, but here we are. Well, I don't look like I'm glowing, so this is a waste of money. Just kidding. Actually, it does feel pretty good though. I'm also drinking my throat comfort tea because I am, obviously you can probably hear it in my voice that I am sick. So. I've not watched any of these time lapses, but I really hope that you can see her in them. I hope that she doesn't knock this over. She's going to. Okay. What's the plan? See, I do know why at this point. Oh, that the fact that he didn't have an affair with Lisa. I don't think it had a point though at all. It doesn't do anything to the plot. It doesn't change anything. Like, it just feels like it was in there for literally no reason. I'm finally there, guys. I'm finally at... You're responsible for the beautiful part, Rachel. The only thing that he got from me was his balls. She laughs. She laughs hard. Oh my God, I know, she says. They're so big. We both laugh at our son's big balls. It's a bridge collapse? What? No. So what you're not going to do is you're not going to go bridge collapse and then go right to a sex scene. We're not going to go right to he slips his hand beneath my skirt. 322 pages in my copy. What would I rate it? Give it a half a star? Flat character. I mean, I shouldn't even, like, get into the nitty-gritty of this because, like, that almost feels like overkill at this point because I've already just been, you know, going bit by bit on the parts that I didn't like. But I think that's what it is for me ultimately. Maybe I just really love complex characters. I think that's just what I like about fiction in general. They said she was a nurse, but they described nothing else about that. They just said, like, yeah, and then she's a nurse, and then they described her scrubs a couple times. And other than that, like, I don't know anything. There was nothing to her. They weren't talking about anything either about sex or about how hard it was that they wanted to be together and they wanted to have sex, but they couldn't. That was literally what it was. And then, like, about him being damaged. And you can have, I mean, listen, relationships with men ultimately usually just are about them being damaged, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, yeah, so... Wouldn't say I loved. Oh, the cover makes sense now. Yeah, oh, actually, wait, let's go back really quick and talk about the fact that there's just a bridge collapse. I don't think there was any foreshadowing to that. There should have been. Just all of a sudden. No, you don't fall in love with your stepsister and also you're in a bridge collapse. Those are like two unreal things happening. This is gonna sound so stupid too, but the part where he gets like free family housing from the registrar for summer registration or whatever, yeah, right. You're right. Okay. You know what? That was fun. That was fun to read aloud and to remind myself that I absolutely can write a book. I think sometimes it's good to read a book that's poorly written to understand what it is that you don't like about books that are written this way. And by poorly written, I do just mean like cookie cutter, I don't know, didn't add any value to anything. It'll probably be a while before I do another hate read, but if you do have a recommendation, please let me know in the comments below.